Hello, welcome to PIP. My name's John McDonald. I run this place. We're in Nottingham in England, and this is a terrorism training centre. Terror, of course, Latin for earth, and ism is a shared belief or culture, so that's what we try and teach here. And I just want to show you a project we've been working on for the last week or so. This is our beginnings of a vertical farm. To increase the growing capacity of this tunnel. We're in a tunnel here which is not a sustainable structure. It's really a transition structure to sustainable growing, and the problem with sustainable growing, of course, in this climate and country is that to put in perennial systems based on forest takes many years, and we really need ways of feeding ourselves, if you like, more sustainably. That marvellous oxymoron that just means extinct only slower until we get that shit sorted out. This is a vertical farm, and it's got over 150 metres of pipe in so far, and a bit of a motley collection of pipes that we've been able to gather together. We've actually spent very little money on this so far, quite a lot of time and effort. I think the total budget from our perspective, getting it to fruition, is probably going to be maybe between £1,000 and £1,500, but we've saved lots of money on the pipe work that largely we haven't had to buy. So that's been very good. Some of it we have had to buy bamboos and some, but they were actually left over from a previous project. I've included them in the costings. There are over 2,500 holes here so far above ground. It's actually a quadruple helix design that I've put on the pipes. There are 4 separate helixes running up. It's loosely based on DNA, and there's 10.5 revolutions per revolution, 10.5 iterations of holes, if you like, per revolution. I based it on a simple kind of angle. It's a right angle sort of helical spiral. Again, a quadruple helix. So I mean, how closely to take the idea of patterns and apply them to this is interesting. The main reason why I've done that, though, is because of drips. If we have a drip of water coming from this hole, it will be caught by one of the holes below it. If we come down here, there's actually some that I've just done on a simple kind of north, south, east, west axis, these thinner pipes here and these ones. And actually, when I've done these before, I find slightly that drips can just come down and move their way down there without being caught by the holes. But it's good to be able to demonstrate that. That one back there is on the helix. It's actually the template pipe that we put around all of the other pipes to be able to drill it. 2,500 holes, all pilot drilled and then drilled with a hole saw. So that's a fair amount of drilling, and my thumb is fucked, I think the polite phrase is, from holding the drill for the last, I don't know, 20, 30 hours of work. We've got, in here we'll actually go small little black pipes, and I'm just going to rip one out here that I planted a while ago. Sorry, sorrel plant. That's there, you can just about make out a little black pipe. Lovely black pipe that goes in the holes and allows us to plant them easier. It makes the planting process certainly a lot easier, and also helps catch drips and supports the plants when the tiny little plugs are very, very small. Here we have some sustainable example of how to do it, really avoiding plastics. As I say, polytunnels aren't sustainable structures anyway. You know, man is a tropical mammal. What the fuck am I doing living in England? So you know, to some extent it's all semi academic, but this is, you know, if we lived in China, which we don't, this would be a sustainable way of doing it. These have obviously been shipped from China, so that's not entirely sustainable anyway, and these were left over from another landscape job that we had, and I've got two more still to drill there. And I've left these tall just to really see how that's going to work. The tops of these, we've got various irrigation. I won't go into that on this video. I'll show you that when we put the irrigation in. We've got to irrigate them. And different fills. The back row, the mid row and the front row will have different fill compositions. The back row, probably 50% perlite, mixed with rock dust, various manures, other things. Mid row, less perlite. Front row, again, less still. And that's really just to avoid compaction and to ensure we keep getting air in there. Because if you've got a 2 metre kind of column of soil, it's really quite likely to compact. To keep these things going, we're going to have to give them aerated compost teas and various liquid feeds. And again, those regimes may well be different for the different heights. It's possible that we may well do that. Also, the planting is going to reflect the individual conditions that the plants find themselves in. So a plant on the back of the sort of lower part at the back of those kind of 3 tiers of pipes is going to have very different light conditions to one at the front at the top here. So the planting itself will reflect that, and the primary crop that this is intended for in summer is actually for basil cultivation, and in winter it'll mostly be mustards, but in reality there'll be other plants in there as a polyculture as well. So yeah, hope you're going to get something from this, and we will post up additional updates as we do more work. Cheers, big up, bye.